All right, bro, what's going on, man? I just got out of the gym, sitting here, and I was just thinking to myself, why is it that so many of us find it so difficult to do the hard work? You know what I mean? It's like we know there's things that we should be doing. We know that if we do these things, it will progress us, and yet we still don't do what we need to do. And I was just thinking about how, I used to be much more in that space. Even now, there's times where of course, I find it difficult, but even back then, I would find it so hard to just go to the gym, or I'd find it so hard to get the work done that I need to do. And there's a lot of people out there who are telling you, oh, well, if it's hard work, it's okay, just do it. You need to push through it. You need to overcome it. But the more and more I progress on my journey of just reaching my potential and really trying to push myself and grow, the more I'm starting to realize it's actually 10 times easier if you just make the hard work fun. Like if you make the hard work fun so that it's not even hard work, you can't fucking lose. And so what I've been realizing is making the hard work fun is what we should be trying to do. We shouldn't be trying to become these, insanely super disciplined, we never go off track. Because the reality is life is always going to throw curveballs at you. And what I'm realizing is the more hard and more rigid you become, the more fragile you become. The more your daily routine has to be exactly in this specific way, the more dangerous everything in life becomes to you, because you can be so easily disrupted and so easily thrown off your thing. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't have a schedule, or you shouldn't have a plan, or you shouldn't, have these goals and have a routine that you follow. I'm all about that, because before that, my life was just completely chaos, right? Any time of the day, I might just start, playing video games or doing whatever. But what I'm realizing is we need to make the hard work fun, and we need to make the things that we're moving toward and the goals that we're moving towards as fun as possible. Honestly, as fun as possible, as easy as possible. And so for me, what's been working, especially over these past, couple of years, as I've gotten more and more serious into, building the physique that I've always wanted to have. Now working, obviously building like this online business that I'm trying to do, and, really escape like being stuck in this whole 9 to 5 life and having to go back. What I've been realizing is the way that I'm staying disciplined in hitting the goals that I need to hit every single day to make progress towards those big things I want in life, hitting the gym, doing the work I need to do, making these kind of videos, really comes down to removing a lot of the bullshit and a lot of the crap that's blocking you and draining your motivation. Because the reality is, bro, the reason why you don't have the motivation and the discipline to do what you need to do, even though you literally say you want these things, you say you want to have, an amazing physique, right? You say you want to have amazing physique. You say you want to get abs. You say, oh yeah, I want to start a business so I have freedom. I don't have to be locked down to this 9 to 5. The reason why you don't have the motivation and the drive to do that is because you're too busy doing a bunch of bullshit, bro. I'm keeping it 100 with you. Like, I'm keeping it a buck. We have to be honest here. And the reality is, a lot of people will tell you, oh, you got to be in moderation, bro. Be in everything in moderation. It's okay if you play video games in moderation. It's okay if you, do this in moderation and do that. It's fucking bullshit, bro. When you're in the trenches and you're trying to come up, the only way out is to not do things in moderation. Fuck moderation, bro. You got to be extreme. The only way out is for you to be extreme. Moderation and mediocrity and all this bullshit is not going to work. It's not going to rapidly take you out of the position you're in. If you want to be mediocre and you want to do things in, oh, I don't want to do too much of this or too much of that, I don't want to be too extreme, expect mediocre results, because you get what you put in, right? You get what you put in. And so the reality is, what I've been realizing is we need to work on really eliminating the bullshit out of our lives. And when I say that, I mean eliminating the instant gratification, because you're so obsessed with the instant gratification that you can't even fucking get to the gym. You're so obsessed with instant gratification, you can't even work out at home. You're so obsessed with instant gratification, you can't even go through the day thinking about what you want in your future life without being addicted to social media. And these are the things that are keeping us trapped, right? And are keeping us in the position we're in right now. And the more serious I get about eliminating these things, the more serious I get about really locking these things down and being like, no, I'm not fucking going on social media today until a certain point. No, I'm not playing fucking video games. No, I'm not doing that. The more I force my brain, my brain gets forced to find pleasure and to have fun in the hard things. And so when I cut out all these instant gratification activities, my brain literally only has one option. And the only option for it to get that high, to get that feeling of achievement, and to get that feeling of pleasure and dopamine and, oh, this is so great, the only place for it to get it are the things that I've allowed to remain. So for example, the gym. I went to the gym, it's a Monday today. I don't even usually go to the gym because I have a 5-day split right now. But, you know, I wasn't allowing myself to go on social media today. I wasn't allowing myself to sit on YouTube and watch 20 videos, 10 educational podcasts. Yeah, bro. You know, I wasn't allowing myself to spend all day sitting on my computer. And so what happened was my brain's like, well, we're fucking bored. And when you get bored, what can we do? Well, we can go to the gym. And you know, the great thing about that is now I'm in the gym, I'm working out, and guess what? That's pushing me further towards the goal that I want. And so if you want to, you know, if you want to build this business, if you want to build the physique you want to have, if you want to, you know, get your homework done on time, if you want to actually achieve really anything, we are being so overstimulated in this modern society. The only way for you to fucking win, the only way for you to be able to do the hard work is to cut out the instant gratification activities. You got to cut them out. You got to cut them out, bro. There's no other way. If you are going, tell me this. All right, think about it this way. If you can literally sit at home on your computer, nice and comfortable, playing video games, and your brain can literally get the dopamine hit from that, why on earth, tell me, why would it want to have to go through the pain and suffering of going into the gym and literally ripping your body apart, breaking down the muscle? Why would it do that when you can just sit at home and play video games? It's not going to want to, because it's an easier way. Your brain is always going to go for the easiest way for you to get that high. And the easiest way for you to get that high is to use all the bullshit that's around us in modern society. And this is why, as young men, we're struggling so much, because we've never had to live through this. Our ancestors never had to do this. They were designed this way, but they were able to, you know, take advantage of that and go out and hunt and go out and gather things and go out and do whatever they did to have to survive. But now we're in such a you know, abundant society in a way that it basically causes us to be constantly distracted and overstimulated to the point where we can't get anything done. And so if you're struggling to get the hard work done, if you're struggling to stay focused and to have the discipline and motivation, literally a huge part of that, I would say the majority of it, is because you're allowing that motivation to be drained out of you. You're allowing that desire to do hard work be drained out of you by doing easy shit and by doing, you know, cheap dopamine activities, instant gratification activities. And so if you can cut those things out of your life, at least just start reducing them. Reduce to the point where you don't need it anymore. And you can't just, here's the thing, is that what people get wrong a lot. They're like, oh, just stop being addicted, bro. Just stop being addicted to porn. Just stop being addicted to video games. Just stop. You can't just pull these things away and have nothing in their place. You have to have something else to go for. So you have to have something. For example, for me, I had to, when I cut out video games, I had to then think of something else to replace that addiction with. You can't just go cold turkey on this shit and not have anything like planned. And so for me, what I wanted was, I wanted to have an amazing physique. I wanted to get rid of the freaking, you know, skinny fat physique that I had, or some people call it like dad bod or whatever, where you have just too much body fat and you just look like shit, bro. And I felt like shit. The only way for me to do that was to get into the gym and start lifting weights. And so I set that as a goal. I set a goal. I'm going to build the best physique I can possibly fucking build. And you know what? In order for me to do that, in order for me to continue and have that consistency and the drive and motivation, I've had to severely cut back on my addictions. I had to. The only way to progress is to do that. So if you're struggling right now and you don't want to do the hard work, I can guarantee you that's literally why. That's literally why. You're addicted to all these other things, and you're allowing your motivation to be drained by these easy fucking, you know, bitch ass activities, to be quite frank with you. And or the second thing is, you're not actually enjoying what you're doing. You're actually going after the wrong goal. You know what I mean? If you're going to cut out these bad activities and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to go to college because my parents said I need to go to college, and you fucking hate every second of it, that's not what you're designed to do, bro. So you have to find a goal that you're in alignment with and that you actually really want, deep down, that you actually desire, and then you can cut the other things out, and you have to go all in on it. And look, it's not, you're never going to completely cut out these things, because we live in a society where it's all around you. You get blasted 24/7 by social media. You get blasted 24/7 with porn and video games, and all this kind of crap is always trying to find a way in and capture your attention. And so it's a continual process of weeding these things out and keeping them at bay. It's like, imagine you have a garden and you have to constantly weed that garden. You have to constantly weed the garden so that these things stay out of your way, so that you can eventually live the dream life you want to live. You know, you want to have the ability to, you know, travel to all these cool, amazing places in the world. You want to have the ability to quit your 9 to 5 so you don't have to fucking have your boss yelling at you and telling you where you have to be every single day and what hours you can go home and all this bullshit. You want to make enough money to where you can actually, you know, retire your parents, or you can actually provide for your family in the future and have kids and your wife and all this crap. You want to get to the point where you have an amazing physique that you're proud of, so that your, you know, your entire community and your family and your kids and everything can look up to you and be like, wow, look at him as an example, and be an inspiration for those who are around you. You have to get to this point where you let go of these things. There's no other way. You have to learn to become a master of your dopamine. You have to learn how to master your mind and master your habits. And this is the biggest thing with any result you want. You have to learn how to master those habits, because if you don't, your brain will literally take you in the easiest direction. Just to give you an example today, okay? So today I woke up with the intention, you know, for a certain amount of time, I'm not doing social media. My brain came up with some dumbass excuse to literally get me on the computer and trick me, bro. I'm not even kidding you. I was literally getting on the computer, and my brain came up with some weird excuse. I don't even remember what it was, but it like tricked me into basically being like, oh, you need to go on the computer real quick to do this thing. And then I get on, I see one thing, then the next thing leads to the next thing. And that's how easy you can get distracted in life with this internet, with the social media. It's so easy, bro. So you have to be vigilant. You have to have a level of vigilance and consciousness about where you're getting your dopamine from. And so if you haven't realized this yet, then I'm making this video because it's so important that you understand, and you start to understand that the reason why you aren't taking action, the reason why you don't feel motivation, you don't feel inspired, and you don't feel like happy about moving towards your goals right now, is because you're allowing that to be sapped and drained by all these instant gratification activities. And you have to, you know, get rid of them. And it's hard. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's some fucking easy thing. You just, oh yeah, just get rid of your addictions, bro. It's not going to be that fucking easy. Everyone else out here is not taking life seriously, barely. You know, they're all out here. The majority of people, they're just going to keep working their 9 to 5, which is, you know, there's nothing wrong with that if you enjoy it. But a lot of people hate what they do. They're just going to keep hating doing what they're doing, going to work every day, coming home, living a basically shit existence. And if you're watching this video, that's not for us. That's not us. We're not going to do that. And so if we're not going to do that, the only way for us to have that drive and motivation, like I said, is to eliminate and stop doing what everyone else is doing. You want to get results that other people don't have, you got to do things that other people don't do. And the majority of people these days constantly watch, you know, TV, sitting at home, constantly playing video games, constantly, you know, watching porn, constantly consuming an insanely sugary diet that basically just blows up their freaking dopamine receptors so that they don't want to eat anything healthy. And this is just the world that we live in. It's all around us, bro. And this is the challenge that we have, because we've never had to face this challenge. So you got to find other like-minded people that you can align with, who are also on this journey of living a lifestyle where, you know, it's not the instant gratification lifestyle, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You got to find other people who are going to actually be on board with living the delayed gratification lifestyle, putting in that hard work and doing what's necessary in order to achieve the goals. Because I know you have to give up these things now. You have to give up the instant gratification activities now. But the great thing about that is, in the future, you're going to live 10 times, 100 times. You can't even put a number on the type of life that you're going to live compared to where you're at now. If you're like me and you were addicted to all these things, you weren't making any progress, you know, you sucked with, you know, you were just broke, you just had a shitty, you know, like flabby physique like I did, you know, no experience, or really no contact, or really any ability to speak to girls or anything like that, you know, no girlfriend or whatever, and you were just addicted to all these things, video games, porn, and all this crap. That's why. That's literally why. And so we have to get rid of this shit. So that's all I got to say for this video, bro. I just got out of the gym and I was just inspired to say this, because I've just been realizing more and more lately that this is what it all comes down to. It all comes down to this. It all comes down to making the hard work fun. If you can make the hard work fun, you will literally win in life. You will become super fucking human. You'll become superhuman, dude. I'm not even kidding you. If you can make the hard work fun, you're going to win. You're going to win, and you're going to get everything that you want to get, while everyone else stands on the sidelines and looks at you and goes, how is this guy moving so fast? How is he progressing so fast? Well, he's not spending 10 hours a day on social media. You know, he's not wasting and giving away his energy to pornography. He's focused. He's a focused individual, and he has discipline simply because he's eliminated those things. A lot of times what it comes down to, you know, when it comes to self-improvement, everyone's always talking about add this, add that, do this routine, you know, throw this in there. And it's like, a lot of it just comes down to simply eliminating shit, bro. That's what I've been realizing. A lot of it just comes down to eliminating things that you don't need to be doing in your life and that are taking and stealing your energy. So that's basically it, man. I hope that you can take this video and you'll start to understand some of this. I'm going to always continue to make videos like this because this is what my younger self needed to hear. He needed to fucking hear about this. Oh, here comes the ambulance. or the fire truck, I don't know. But he needed to hear this. Like, let me see. Let's wait a minute. That's gonna be in my thumbnail right there. But he needed to hear this because he was so obsessed with these instant gratification activities, and that made him depressed. And so he was always depressed, and he was never moving forward. He was never, you know, achieving what he wanted to achieve because he was always obsessed with the instant gratification. Versus understanding that if you give that shit up now, you will get everything that you want in life. You will literally live the life of, you know, whatever you want to create. You know, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to achieve anything you want and basically have superhuman abilities by cutting these things out and learning to control the power of your brain, your mind, your dopamine. So yeah, that's why I make these videos, bro. And yeah, I just hope you're doing well, and hopefully you had a good Monday. You know, hopefully you had a good Monday. And if you didn't, ask yourself why. Why did you not have a good Monday? Why did it suck? Was it because you're doing something that you're not supposed to do in life? Maybe you're not actually following, you know, your calling. Maybe because today you spent so much time with instant gratification activities. It's the beginning of the week, so let's get it. You know, let's get focused here. Let's get disciplined. And you know, I almost say discipline, and it's like, I don't even know if that's the right word, honestly, because discipline just becomes automatic when you cut these things out. You don't have to be like quote unquote disciplined, because it's like, it just becomes automatic. So yeah, that's all I got to share, man. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Have a good night. See ya.